Hey everyone, PKFT1 here, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different than I usually do. And I wanted to talk about Smash Ultimate a little bit. With the recent addition of Sora and Smash, I thought that maybe looking back at Smash Ultimate could be fun. And I was trying to think of something I could do, and I kind of remembered this bit of info that I kind of stumbled upon a few years ago, right around the time Joker was announced. And I kind of wanted to go into this story. And I also figured this could kind of coincide with the release of Persona 5 Royal, since it's now been 2 years exactly as of this day. But before we get into any of that, let's take you all the way back to the day Smash released, which was December 7th, 2018. Now, I'm not sure how many of you remember this, but along with the anticipated release of the game, there were tons of rumors that were swirling around. And there was one specific rumor that stemmed from a video that was released by Jeff Keighley, who is the host of the Game Awards. And of course, he was promoting the Game Awards for 2018. And the Game Awards in 2018 just so happened to line up with the release of Smash Ultimate. So it was kind of a big deal, and there was this clip that really started a bunch of discussion. So let's look at this clip really quick.
Because I said, if he's going to steal my Game Awards date to launch Smash Brothers, I got to challenge him.
It's the day before. You're the day before.
December 6th
I'm the day
at 9 p.m. Pacific. I bet that's when Smash comes out.
So we need to do something special on your show.
Okay, well, we'll stay tuned.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So obviously, after seeing this, the internet began to speculate wildly about what this could have meant. Did it mean that we were going to get the first DLC character at the Game Awards? So excitement was obviously at the maximum level, and it's only natural that people would be frothing at the mouth for what could be in store. So the night finally came, and Reggie kind of only made things crazier when at the beginning of the show, he was sporting a Smash Bros. T-shirt, which of course had Ridley on it. And he'd come out on stage with these other executives. While logically it would make sense that it was simply in support of the launch, there was a crazy idea that was kind of going around that somehow it could be tied to a character reveal that night. And in the past, Nintendo had done such things as showcasing Breath of the Wild and I think Bayonetta 3 before. However, there was no real precedent for a Smash announcement outside of what Nintendo would typically host themselves. So I remember the night pretty well, as I convinced my friends that we had to see if it would happen. So we turned on the Game Awards, and I remember anticipating something from Nintendo, but convincing myself like a Smash reveal was pretty unlikely. At the time, all my friends and I had Joker as our number one pick, but I remember looking online and there didn't seem to be any excitement around the character. Nobody was talking about it. So it just seemed really unlikely. However, I knew that Sega had 2 reps in Smash already, so it wasn't completely out of the question that Joker could get into it. But I definitely was not expecting him as the first reveal. As the show kind of moved on and moved further in, I started to lose hope that Nintendo would have anything other than these commercials that would intersperse advertising the game's launch. And we had to leave our apartment, of course, by the time the show had gotten into it, because we had to go to GameStop for the launch of Smash. So I just put on the Game Awards on my phone and didn't really think much about it, because everybody was preoccupied with other things, or everybody in line was just excited about the game and talking about it. So I was really the only one who was watching the Game Awards who was in line. So I remember just looking down at my phone casually, letting my friends know if anything cool would come up, when all of a sudden you saw that the lights had gone out at the Game Awards and this red screen popped up. I'm sure you've all seen it. And I thought it was going to be Cyberpunk. I don't know why. I think I was just thinking CD Projekt Red. And then, of course, the logo pops up for the Phantom Thieves, and we all start freaking out. And we're all huddled around my phone, and everybody was like, oh, it could be for PQ2. And I was like, no, I think it's bigger. This is obviously something else. But my mind didn't instantly go to Smash, but my heart kind of went to Smash. Anyhow, as it went further in, and they throw the card and everything, and they say, we've been invited, like, I knew at that point it had to be Smash. And I kept saying, Joker's in Smash, Joker's in Smash, Joker's in Smash, and nobody around me believed me, like my friends. Anyhow, of course, it revealed. We all freaked out, and it was this really crazy moment where, like, apparently everybody else around me in line was telling me to hold up my phone, and I didn't even hear any of that. And so I had like tuned everybody else out. But I remember us freaking out, and nobody knew what was going on around us because nobody was watching it. And everybody was like, what the heck are they talking about? Anyhow, a GameStop employee comes out and he announces to everybody, Joker has just been announced for Smash Ultimate, everybody. And everybody was just like confused because nobody, A, knew who the character was, and B, had any reason to believe the guy because all these people were fans of Smash, and they'd be like, I would know if there was a Smash announcement. What the heck are they talking about? Anyhow, I just remember everybody being confused and one guy just being like, from Batman? There's like one other guy who is excited there. Obviously, I've wanted to talk about this for a while on the channel, and it really just serves as a setup for what I really want to talk to you guys about, and that was the lead up to the release of Joker in Smash. So obviously, I was beyond excited that this reveal had happened. But it happened in December, and you wouldn't get his release until April, so it felt like an eternity waiting for Nintendo to drip feed this information to us. Even at the next Direct, they just kind of showed the back of his model. He just kind of dropped in, and then they told us, you gotta wait even longer for more info. So it was in this space between the original announcement and the release of tons of info that all these leaks started popping up, coming in about Smash. And there was this speculation at the time about Dragon Quest getting in, as there was a code name that had been found in a data mine, and the code name was quote-unquote Brave. And people were trying to dig around and find more and more once the game had released. And eventually they found that Joker had a code name as well, and that he went by the code name Jack internally. So people were trying to figure out what stage he could come with, and any other bits of info that they could possibly dig up. And it was at this time when a data miner by the Twitter handle of Dr. Hypercake came into play. And he was finding all this interesting info on a few different aspects of the game. One of the biggest that was widely reported was that Jack, aka Joker, came with something labeled Mementos. It was like this code name that people assumed was the stage Mementos. And of course, once this was established, it became really fascinating because now we kind of had a peek as to what to expect, and everybody knew that the stage would be Mementos. And Dr. Hypercake eventually stumbled upon something that was much more interesting, at least to me. Upon looking at the strings of code, Dr. Hypercake stumbled upon a string of files that appeared to be connected directly to Joker. Now, I can't read code myself, and I don't have a full understanding, but as it's perceived here, we find under the costume files for Joker, there is a reference to ponytail hair system connected to the code name of Jane. Now, this took me as a surprise as there was no sense to be made of this at the time, but speculation immediately went crazy in small pockets of the internet. Now, what's interesting about this is that it's connected directly to Joker's costume file, and the going theory was that we would have a female variant of Joker that would be interchangeable as a costume, much in the style of various Fire Emblem representatives like Corrin or Robin. And there were tons of arguments back and forth if it was legitimate, but I have no reason to doubt Dr. Hypercake, as he eventually came to the conclusion that there would be variants of the Memento stage as well, which, of course, came true with the P3 and P4 variants. And he even found data that was indicating that home run contests would make a return, and of course we know that happened, I believe, even with the 3.0 update. So while everything that he basically found and kind of theorized came true, the question remains, who was Jane? Is it in Smash Ultimate in some form? So what really happened? So as many of you probably already know, in that same period of time that Joker was announced and released, Atlus also had big plans of their own. A few weeks after Smash's release, they put out an ominous teaser for something referred to as P5R. All we really learned about it is that more info would come at the Persona Super Live event. For reference, the Dr. Hypercake info came at about late February, if I remember correctly, so at this point, the rumors were in full swing about what P5R could be. Was it going to be a port? Was it a re-release? Was it a new game? And of course, could Jane be a female variant of Joker in Persona 5R? The concert was set for the 24th and 25th of April, respectively, and we were all interested to see what could come with this reveal. However, what seemed out of nowhere was the fact that the Joker DLC info for Smash came on April 16th, and renders had actually leaked earlier that day, I think it was through like a Best Buy website. And that night, the info dropped, and it seemed like everything that Dr. Hypercake had predicted came true, with the exception of any sign of this Jane reference. However, on the Memento stage, it was revealed that characters from Persona 5 would make occasional appearances in the background. So, upon seeing this feature, many theorized that perhaps the code string was connected to Mementos and was actually referring to On's character model. However, it seems obvious that this isn't the case, as it very specifically mentions a ponytail in the string of code and not twin tails. And of course, the info was supposedly found inside of Joker's character costume data. So again, what happened? Well, interestingly enough, there was something Smash spoiled for the eventual reveal of P5R, and that was the grappling hook. There was no grappling hook in base P5, and we hadn't seen anything about it in P5R at this point, so it was a big surprise when Joker had one in Smash. But then, the P5R full reveal came weeks later, and it was shown to be a Persona 5 re-release with new content. So there was a new semester, new moves, and of course, there was a grappling hook. What was interesting about this was that it opened the fact that Sakurai and the team must have been in the know about the development of P5R and all the new features, probably to keep Joker as up-to-date and modern as possible, and to help promote the new game. Although, one of the most talked about biggest features was the new party member who joins the Phantom Thieves and takes on the codename Violet, also known as Kasumi. I'm going to try to refer to her as that. I know people don't like the way I pronounce her name. The most interesting aspects about her was how heavily she seemed to be featured in the trailer, and that she had a strikingly similar outfit to Joker, but altered to showcase her gymnast background. But what really made her stand out in this situation was, of course, her large ponytail that she wears. What's even more interesting is she was even armed in a similar way to Joker, with both a sword and a rifle, albeit they are a bit longer than Joker's knife and pistol. Her color scheme was even similar to Joker, with red gloves, a three-tailed black coat, and a mask that was the same shape as Joker's, but swapped out with black instead of white. Looking at the evidence here, I feel pretty certain saying that Kasumi was to be Jane. Not a Joker variant, but a completely swappable playable character. Perhaps meant to promote the upcoming release of Persona 5 Royal, and keep Smash fresher for longer. She would have been able to use the same style of moves as Joker, while swapping Arsene for Cendrillon, and perhaps switching out Joker's dark attacks for light attacks. One final detail is that Dr. Hypercake found that the Jane file seemed to be missing entirely by the time 3.0 had released. He found that all of the characters who appear in the background of Mementos actually used their in-game codenames. There was no reference to Jane left. So she disappeared, and I find it incredibly fascinating to think what could have been. Of course, there's no real way of confirming whether all of this information is completely accurate or not, but we do know that some of this information is true as it was found in the code. We don't even know what stage of development she would have ever gotten to if she was in it. But with the knowledge that Sakurai was working based off of P5R and costume data for a character by the name of Jane with a ponytail in Joker's data, it seems pretty obvious that she was at least a thought at some point. So again, what happened? Well, it's really impossible to know. She isn't in the game in any shape or form, not even a spirit. Interestingly enough, we actually got Sophie from Persona 5 Strikers when it came out, but I think that had more to do with the release of the game on the Switch than anything. In the end, I think it was probably for the best. I really don't want to imagine the drama that would have surrounded a reveal of a new Persona character next to Joker and Smash before P5R was ever even really announced, and how that would have influenced the release of P5R and the expectations of the character. Again, this is all technically speculation, but I don't really see any info that disproves this at all as a possibility, and it all lines up almost too well. So I hope I was able to bring a bit of fun info to light for all you Smash and or Persona fans. And if you have any fun info or other things related to these games, or maybe specifically this topic, just feel free to share it below. I'm really interested in hearing what you guys may know about this or have heard of this. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to have more videos for you on a more regular basis from now on. We'll see you next time.